Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Today, we've got the Series 10 Unmatched Kenny Omega, which I want to say this is actually also my first figure from this set, if I recall correctly. And it indeed definitely is, as I don't have any of them, in fact. I would like to have the Young Bucks at least. The Kyle O'Reilly looks cool and all. The Brandon Cutler, well, it's Brandon Cutler. And the Edge would be kind of nice. I don't know if I'd get the Adam Cole. Nice shot of Kenny on the back here. Kind of wish we had like an extra head scan that resembled that, but meh. You've got the little side piece here on the one end. You've got the nice little picture of him here in the corner, along with just AEW and the one side, but we've got all the gibberish down here with the QR code. Anywho, I don't know why I showed you the bottom of the box. Why don't I shut the hell up and we can get into this action figure review and get him out of his plastic prison, because I don't really have all that much time to waste, because I do work tonight, aka I'm doing this right after that solo review. Well, not right after, I had a couple of things to do, but I'm getting to it within the same day, more or less. So let's get into that. Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the Kenny Omega out of his plastic prison, we can go over his a little bit of accessories. He comes with two sets of hands. As you can see, we've got the grapple hands, and we've got a pointer gun and a open palm hand for the left hand. The pointer gun obviously being the right hand. Let me turn that down a little bit. Hopefully you don't hear my girlfriend's music as she's out there doing some cleaning and trying to shave the little boy down, aka our puppy, because he's a little hairy bastard, and with the weather getting a bit warmer out, we don't want him to overheat outside, so we gotta shave him down a little bit. But, with that being the only bit of accessories, we can knock those out of the way and get into this Kenny Omega action figure review. First things first, the main thing I'm gonna point out right now: why is the top half of the torso and the lower half, the arms and the head scan, all different colors? Like, the lower half, the arms and the head scan match, but the top half of the torso, aka the chest piece, does not match the bottom half. That's a little odd. I don't know why that would be, but at least it's not a bad torso. It moves fairly well. It's actually got really good ab crunch and stuff of that nature. The double jointed arms move really well. I can't complain. It moves like your standard AEW action figure. And if you haven't seen one of them, think of a WWE like classic ultimate. They move really, really well. Like, this is a nice big boot motion. And yeah, I don't really have any complaints as far as the movement goes, despite, if anything, the knees kind of kick forward a little bit more than they should, but it's not anything big here. If anything, my big complaint is with the chest area. But getting into this Kenny Omega head scan, honestly, I am definitely digging this head scan. Seeing it a little bit more up close in the camera, you can see all the facial hair details there. He's got the Triple H, '03 mutton chops look. Looking nice, looking spiffy. Trying to move the arm there, not trying to make him pick his own nose. But you've got some nice black hair, no details of any other color in there, like some of the other Kenny Omega head scans, just for an example, because we'll get into other Kenny Omega head scans later, but this one has a very similar look, just no blonde in the hair, so take with what you will there. But I am definitely digging this all black look in the hair. Of course, I will probably end up using the Supreme torso on this on the upper half. But getting into the lower half, because besides the head scan and the white wrist tape, there's nothing really big to talk about. We've got this nice blue gear. I don't know if this is supposed to be resembling something, but you've got these nice little white crosshair patterns and then little black designs. Nothing sculpted, it's all decals, so don't get too excited thinking that there might be some sculpt to it. But a nice little unique piece. We do have the belt sculpted and all the way around, but we've also got this little piece here sculpted on, and it does not hinder any articulation. So if you were wondering about that, I'd say you can still get a really nice big boot off with this Kenny Omega. But it is a little weird to look at because it is just hard plastic, but I'm not complaining too much, especially because blue is my favorite color. So seeing all the blues in this with the light blue behind the kick pad, you've got the nice dark blues with all the light blues mixed in with the crosshairs, and this is just a really nice gear in my opinion. And honestly, with all that being said, why don't we do some Kenny Omega comparisons now? Especially since we just recently got this bad boy that I gotta pull out from over here. The Walmart exclusive Kenny Omega, who, mind you, has correct skin tone all the way around. And we also have the Supreme Kenny Omega, if I can get him to stand. He may have been drinking a little too much milk when I pulled him out, never know. Especially because I want to say he is straight edge, so can't make any Sandman-esque jokes here. There we go. For the life of me, couldn't get him to stand, and sorry, not sorry, I don't have a tripod or a kickstand that I could use and take videos at the same time. But with all that being said, we've got these 3 different Kenny Omegas. I do have a 4th one technically. It is the original Series B, but I don't feel like digging out the legs, and I don't know exactly where the torso is for it because I just mainly use the Supreme torso. If I ever do use those legs, only problem I tend to have is the ankles are loose as shit, unlike these 3. So just pointing that out there. But compared to the other 2 Kenny gears I've got, technically the other 3, I definitely say this is by far my favorite attire just based off of the color. But if I had to actually choose overall, in my honest opinion, I don't know what it's based off of, but I'm going with that Walmart exclusive. The tights are just really cool on that one, though. I do love the Demon Slayer gear with the Walmart Supreme Kenny here. Kind of funny to think we've got the Walmart exclusives and then a random Unmatched in the collection, because I don't have any other Kenny Omegas but the Series B. So, kind of odd how that works, isn't it? But I guess with all that being said, why don't we get them up into a final pose, and we can give our final thoughts. Alrighty, you guys, now that I've got the Kenny Omega in his final pose, giving a nice little V trigger to Darby Allin, what can I say about this figure? Obviously, I did swap out the torso for the Supreme torso, just kind of testing it out. Sadly, the torso is a little loose on that set of legs, so I don't know exactly what I plan to do there. Maybe I'll see if the Walmart exclusive torso would fit better on that body, and then worst case, I could always just use this torso when I use this gear in the Fed, because I would love to use this gear in the Fed, especially for like a major victory for Kenny Omega. Whether I plan it out ahead of time or not, I don't know, it would be nice. Anywho, what can I say about this Kenny Omega now that we've got him in the final pose? And we can just kind of give our final thoughts. Well, first things first, I really do not like how the, original torso has like two different skin tones. It's very unappealing to look at in person. It's not too bad on the camera, but honestly, I can't forgive it in person. I really can't. It's very much an eyesore. Other than that, though, I don't really have much else that I could say personally that would be a bad thing. We could always say that one big positive coming in for the lower legs is that he is on pin-in joints, which I love, having pin-in joints for figures. Just personally for me, if I ever want to customize or say something breaks and I need to replace it somehow, some way, I can at least attempt to do so. The the pinless joints are just kind of a pain in the ass to work around, in my opinion. Though, let's be honest, they do look really nice when executed properly. But yeah, I don't really have all that much to say. So when it comes down to it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I give this Kenny Omega? And honestly, I think I would have to give the Kenny Omega a good solid, I think we're going to go with a good solid 6 out of 10. Doesn't mean he's a terrible figure by any means. I just really do not like the way the torso feels. And if anything, the knees do feel a little bit awkward sometimes, like if you push them in a little too forward. Because I don't know why, I did point it out earlier, but the knees feel like they can pop a bit forward more than they probably should be able to. So between that and the mixed, colored torso, I'm definitely gonna downgrade the points a little bit there. It's not like he comes with a whole lot of accessories either, because I feel like this Kenny would have came out with a jacket or something with this very nice gear, but maybe that's just me. A good old 6 out of 10 though is what it shall be. And when it comes to the star rating, the good old Dave Meltzer star rating, the good old 1 to Young Buck match, what will we rate this man? Being a 6 out of 10, I feel like it's only right to give him a good solid 2.8 out of 5 stars. If that really, equates to something to you, I think it makes sense in my head. But yeah, not a terrible figure all around. Honestly, could easily be a solid 3. But at the end of the day, with some of the other Kenny Omega figures I've had, this one is not the best, though I definitely would rank it very high on some of the Kenny Omega action figures we have gotten. But yeah, with all that being said, I don't really have all that much else to say. So if you liked the video, feel free to like the video, and if you did not like the video, well, womp womp, I guess. But if you did like it, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe, and we are on the journey to 400 subscribers. We recently hit 364s. I did show off in the Solo Sokoa video. Speaking of, we do have 2 views within 5 hours on that, so that tells you how long it took me to get to this review. Of course, we do have other content as well. We've got plenty of other action figure reviews, including the Walmart exclusive Kenny Omega, Ricky Starks, the Unmatched Will Ospreay, plus many more, including the unboxing. And well, I'd have to scroll a little bit deeper, but we also have the pick fed, so go watch that if you would like to. Episode 14 is up for the viewing right now, working on episode 15 as we speak. Just got the main event left, so hopefully shouldn't take me forever. But yeah, with all that being said, I don't really have all that much else to say. So, have a good rest of your day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I am not in your time zone, and I'm really not trying to ramble on forever, because I am tired, and I sadly gotta work late. So, womp womp to me, R.I.P.P., BB boy, whatever you would like to say. Yeah, either way, on that note, deuces, ooses, yee.